Today, we're going to be talking about the mana shield bug slash glitch slash exploit slash whatever you want to call it. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to be calling it the mana shield trick. It also goes by the name of low HP and low HP mana shield. This is not the same as the negative health glitch. Now for starters, I want to preface this video by saying that I cannot read the code. That is not something that I have the ability to do. So for some of this, you will have to just trust me, which I don't like to do. I like to show evidence on everything that I'm covering, but in this case, that's just not an option for me. But by the end, I promise it will all make sense. So, if you ask someone, what is the mana shield trick? The explanation they will probably give you is that when your hit points are lower than your character level, you cannot be stunned. While using mana shield, of course. But why character level? If we hop over to Gerald's guide and look at section 2.2.1, getting hit, and we scroll down to here where it says hit recovery. When you are hit and don't block it, you will take damage. If the damage is big enough, your character will go through a hit recovery animation. You are stunned, during which you can't do anything. Any character, except the barbarian, the damage must be equal to or greater than your character level. So if you have a level 10 character, it's 8 o'clock. If you have a level 10 character, you must take 10 points of damage or higher in order to be stunned. This barring resistances and DFE. For the purpose of this video, we're going to assume that your resistances and DFE are 0. I'm going to assume you don't have any, just to make this simple. So to further explain this, we need to talk about how getting hit works. In literally any game and taking damage. So obviously, if you have, say, 100 hit points, and you take 20 points of damage, 100 minus 20 leaves you with 80 hit points. Very basic. Every game works this way. And if you die, your hit points are 0 or lower. Again, basic. Now in Diablo, the way this works is, when you die, the game runs lines of code that say stop processing all information. What this means is, you will not be stunned any further. You will not get stunned, you will not make any hit sounds. Projectiles will just pass over your corpse. In fact, if a Viper were to come moving up to you and do a short charge, it would actually short charge right through you and then keep going. It's actually pretty hilarious to watch. So what is the code doing for Mana Shield? Based upon my understanding of how it works, it's like this. It works very similarly to just taking normal damage, which it should not. So when you have Mana Shield on. You have 100 hit points, you take 20 points of damage. Those 20 points of damage are first subtracted from your life. From your hit points. Not your mana, your hit points. At first subtracted from your life, checks to see if you have Mana Shield, sees that you have Mana Shield on, refunds you those 20 hit points, and then subtracts it from your mana. This creates problems that normally would not exist. Now, first of all, I'm a level 25 character. Before I potted, I had 2 hit points. But before we go to that, I'm just going to let Diablo beat on me. With Mana Shield on. You can see how this works. I'm just getting stunned. I'm making hit sounds, I'm getting stunned. If I stand here, I'm even getting knocked back. Pretty basic. Now, if I have level 25 character and 2 hit points, and I let Diablo beat on me, what happens? No hit sounds, no stun, no knockback. Nothing. That's how that works. I actually forgot something. So what I was supposed to do before I did all that, and I can still do it now, it's okay. We'll just do it again. That's all. No big deal. So, Diablo himself, we jump over Gerald's Guide, section 5.2.2, Special Monsters. Diablo's damage range is 30 to 60. That's his melee damage. His Apocalypse damage, according to 4.2.1, details about monster spells in Diablo. Apocalypse does a damage range of 40. Well, there's no range on it. Actually, it's just a flat 40. So, we switch back over to the game. I use Mana Shield. Character level 25 with 2 hit points. Diablo doesn't stun me, obviously, because, you know, obviously 30 and 50 and 60 and 40 are all higher than 2. But based upon what I just explained to you, I posit you this question. What if I have 29 hit points? Which is less than all of Diablo's damage. 29 hit points on level 25 character. Because what you explained in the beginning of it was that when your hit points are lower than your character level, hit points lower than character level, you can't be stunned. Well, this is above my character level. Now what happens? The exact same thing. Nothing changes. Nothing changes at all. So the question is, why does nothing change? The answer is found in that stop that I mentioned. Stop processing all information. What this comes down to is one thing and one thing only, and that is your character level does not matter. It all comes down to, do you have more life than the damage you have taken? If the damage you take exceeds your hit points while using Mana Shield, then stop processing all information. The reason why it's explained as when your hit points are lower than your character level is because that's something a lot easier to control. Because if you have to take damage equal to or greater than your character level, by being lower than your character level, you can always ensure you'll never get stunned. This is why you'll input something like this. Now, if I were to throw this on, take it off, I don't get stunned anymore. But you see, even with 50 hit points, there are instances where he actually does not stun me. Like right there. That's because the damage he hit me for was greater than 50. So I could not be stunned. So really what this all comes down to is, in order to not be stunned, you have to take damage greater than your hit points. Now, why is this important? Let's switch over to this. A speedrun category has been established recently called No Major Glitches, in which case we have rules of Mana Shield low HP glitch, which is what this is considered, is disallowed. This includes the usage of minus HP items or taking damage from Black Death to lower your health below the character level. Now, as I just showed, your hit points don't need to be lower than your character level. Therefore, you could actually loophole your way through this by just simply having your hit points one single point above your character level, or even at your character level if you wanted to. If it's at your character level, you won't be stunned. Because if you have 25 hits and 25 on a level 25 character and you take 25 points of damage, you're dead. In order to be stunned, you'd have to take 26. You could loophole this by having 26 hits on a level 25 character. In which case, the only time you'll get stunned is if you take exactly 26 points of damage, which is very unlikely to happen. It will happen at times, but very unlikely. For the most part, you'll just run through the entire level. There is no way to resolve that problem for a speedrun other than to just simply ban Mana Shield. Which, I can tell you right now, is not going to happen. Now, bonus information. Oh. So for starters, for this bonus information, we have a Blood Knight right here. For those of you who don't know, Mana Shield doesn't even prevent you from being stunned in the first place, despite its damage reduction. So if I switch back over to Geralt's Guide, back here in section 2.2.1, right here, it says checks for hit recovery are done between steps 4 and 5, which is talking about this, and thus will not be affected by the use of Mana Shield. Hit recovery. It is worth noticing that the check for hit recovery is made prior to any damage reduction due to using a Mana Shield. If you're using a Mana Shield, it will reduce the damage by 33%. But the check for hit recovery is done before that. Now, Blood Knights, if I scroll up just a little bit, so right here, do a damage range of 25 to 35. I'm a level 25 character, so if I take 35 and subtract 33%, I will end up with 23.45. Round up to 24 just because we can. That means the most damage he can hit me for is 24. I'm level 25. He should not be capable of stunning me at all. Sure looks like he is, doesn't it? As you can see, Mana Shield doesn't even prevent you from getting stunned. Only way you'd not get stunned is if he was able to exceed your hit points, and that is it. In fact, let's just say you had a character who was level 50 with 220 hit points, and you were to face off against Hell Difficulty Diablo, who does a max damage range of 246. You could have a full health globe with Mana Shield on. And if he max rolled you on his damage, he would not stun you. Which means against Hell Difficulty Diablo, Sorcerers actually have a pretty good advantage, since they have such low hit points. Further proving that Sorcerers are in fact OP. But we already knew that, didn't we?